Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup presents Inner Sanctum Mysteries, starring Wendy Berry. Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host, Raymond, inviting you through the squeaking door for a grisly little party. Well, now for our weekly news summary of events from the other world. Slash. The Galloping Ghost defeated the marauding murderers in the opening game of the Ectoplasmic Baseball League last week. An invisible crowd of 20,000 saw the contest. Slash. The Slimy Spooks Union is considering a strike to charge people for overtime when they scare them during the day. And, oh yes, a fake medium was arrested for saying he could get in touch with humans.
Well, that's very funny, Mr. Raymond. Now, that's what I like, when you say amusing things instead of scary ones.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, they have a very amusing time in the other world. The other day, they held a masquerade ball, and everyone came disguised as people.
Well, that's very interesting. Did they serve refreshments?
Oh, yes, they served Lipton tea. Everybody loved it. Why, to count all the cups of tea they drank, you'd have to be a teetotaler.
Well, then the other world must be pretty much like this one, because folks here feel the same way about Lipton tea. Why, more people drink Lipton's than any other brand. And they don't just serve it at mealtimes either. Yes, sir, Lipton's is an around-the-clock drink. It helps lots of housewives through their work day, and it's a grand beverage to serve your friends when they drop in of an evening. And, of course, there's one big reason why Lipton tea is so popular. It's because of that famous brisk flavor. That word brisk means that Lipton's always tastes tangy and full-bodied. It's never flat or wishy-washy. Yes, folks, you just don't know how good tea can be till you've tried Lipton's.
Now, friends, while you're trying things, try on this rope for size, huh? Oh, didn't I tell you? We're going to hang a very attractive lady tonight. Our story is called The Girl and the Gallows. It all adds up. It's an original radio play by Milton Lewis, and our star is that glamorous motion picture actress, Wendy Berry, who'll play the role of Karen. All right, friends. On a nice spring evening like this, a few chills running up and down your spine are just what you need. So get yourself a sweet companion. Turn the lights down low. Put your arm around her. Oh, brother, sit back and get ready to have the wits scared out of you. Let's go.
The door was open, and I walked into the strangest apartment I'd ever seen. A sweet, sickening odor overwhelmed me as I looked around. It was a rare incense, burning in a hollow skull that stood on the mantelpiece. I looked closely. The skull was human. I felt someone's eyes on me, staring, watching every move I made.
Good evening. You're Karen Marlowe, aren't you?
How did you know?
I'm Laura Mason.
Oh, Father's told me so much about you. I had to come and see you. May I call you Laura?
Of course.
I thought it'd be best if we met like this by ourselves. When you marry Father, you're going to be my mother. I never had a mother. She died when I was born.
Yes, Dennis told me.
I can see now why Father's so much in love with you. I can grow to love you, too.
What has your father told you about me?
That you were quite an extraordinary woman. Can you really foretell the future?
Why did you come here?
I told you. You're going to be my mother.
That's not the reason.
I don't understand.
Sit down, Karen. Before you leave here, you will understand. And you'll believe everything your father told you about me.
She sat next to me, held my hand. Hers felt like ice. Suddenly, her body shook and quivered as though she were being seized by some terrifying unseen demon. Her eyes had little dancing flames. Then they were gone. They became hollow, endless, like two round black holes of infinite space. She was in a trance. Her hand held mine like a vise.
There's not going to be any wedding.
What are you saying?
I see a coffin.
A coffin?
There's a man in it. Dennis, your father.
You don't know what you're saying.
On the floor of your home, a dagger in his throat, his head in a pool of blood.
Stop it!
Murdered!
Stop it!
You struck me.
I had to wake you out of that horrible trance. How can you say such awful things?
They're true.
They can't be.
But they are. I still remember the last vision I saw. It should interest you very much.
I don't want to hear about it.
You were in it.
I? How?
There was a figure hanging from a gallows. It was you.
You hate me, don't you? You want to see me dead. That's why you're telling me this.
No.
I'm not afraid of you. You're rotten and evil and loathsome. And I hate you. I hate you. I could kill you.
What's wrong, sister?
Father.
You Karen Marlowe?
Just as she said. The dagger in his throat. Murdered. Oh, Father.
Don't look at him again.
But he's been murdered.
Yeah, I know it. Here, drink this.
But
Shut up and drink it.
thanks. Who are you?
Lou Locke. Homicide.
The police?
Yeah. We got a tip.
But how?
Someone called in.
This is awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough on a kid like you. Feel well enough to talk?
Yes.
Okay. When'd you see him last?
Tonight. At 7. Here.
Then where'd you go?
To see a woman named Laura Mason.
Laura Mason. Was she home?
No. She arrived a minute after I got there. She predicted this.
What?
She said this would happen when I saw her.
Oh, yeah? Did you know what was in your father's will?
No. No, he never told me.
He left all his dough to you and Laura Mason. If either one of you dies, the other gets it.
How'd you find out?
We get around. At 7:30, a neighbor heard him scream. 7:15, a dark-haired woman in a red coat was brought up here by the elevator boy. She was very attractive. Do you know anyone like that?
Yes. Laura Mason.
You sure?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Who made that head of your father?
Oh, a sculptor in Paris many years ago. Why?
Because your father mentioned it in his will.
How?
Well, he said that under no circumstances must it go to you. It was to go to Laura Mason or be destroyed. Well, what made him do a thing like that?
I don't know. Father was a strange and brilliant man. She killed him. I know she did.
Who?
Laura Mason. You know she did it, too.
Now, take it easy. Feel well enough to go out?
Yes.
Okay. Take me to Laura Mason.
Yes?
I'm Lou Locke. Homicide.
Police?
Yeah. Where's Laura Mason?
Laura Mason?
Don't play dumb.
Oh, I never heard of her.
Ever seen this lady before, Miss Morrow?
No, and I've never seen this apartment before either.
Did you make a mistake?
No. No, this is the building. This is where the apartment is, but I don't understand it.
Neither do I.
I told you how strange it was.
Yeah. Hey, the skull on the mantelpiece, I don't see it.
But it was here, only a few hours ago.
What's your name?
Maxine Maynard.
How long you living here?
5 years.
You must have made a mistake, Miss Morrow.
I didn't. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't believe me, do you? You don't believe a word I told you.
Let's go back to your place. The boys must have finished up by now. You'll be okay here tonight, Miss Morrow.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, I gotta get back to headquarters.
You still don't believe me.
Look, you're a young kid, a nice kid. You never saw a man who was murdered before. It can bowl you over.
You think I imagined it all.
Well, it's happened before. But you'll be all right now. Good night.
Don't go. Please don't go.
Well, I've got to.
I'm frightened. I don't want to be here alone.
There's a cop in the corridor. If you want him, call.
I don't want to be in this apartment by myself. I've hardly ever been without my father. Don't go. Please.
Easy, kid. I'll come back if I can.
Was I losing my mind? Did I imagine a strange interview with Laura Mason? I was alone in the apartment where my father was murdered. I was too frightened to think. Suddenly, the door buzzer sounded. I rushed to open it. No one was there. I sat down. Was this something I imagined, too? The phone rang. I picked up the receiver. Hello? 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 No one answered. Was it all imagination? Had something happened to me? I went to the window, opened it. I heard the traffic far down in the street. Jump? Why not? Father was dead. My life was a nightmare. I couldn't go on like this. Yes, jump. It'll be all over. The torture, the fear, the madness, all gone. I leaned over the ledge. One move would be all over. I would jump.
Come back here.
Let me go. Let me go.
No, you don't.
I don't understand.
Never mind what I don't understand. You're just lucky I came back.
It'd been better if you hadn't. Something's happened to me. I see things that never existed. I hear bells, the phone, the door buzzer. And all the time I feel that woman's eyes on me, watching me.
Cut it out.
Why didn't you let me jump? I'm no good to anyone this way. Why did you come back?
Because I... Come here.
Don't. Let go of me.
Shut up.
You kissed me.
Yeah. That's why I came back.
You...
Let's not talk about it now.
Oh, but why?
Because you're beautiful. I wanted to do that ever since I saw you. You still want to jump now?
No. No.
Okay. I'm going to take you to a good doctor.
You think there's something the matter with me?
We'll let him decide.
But I did see that woman, just like I told you.
We've been checking. We can't find any trace of a Laura Mason. Why'd you jump like that?
The door buzzer. You did hear it ring, didn't you? That was the door buzzer.
Sure, I heard it.
Oh, thank heaven someone else heard it.
I'll open the door. What's the matter, Karen?
Oh, it's her. Standing in the doorway. It's Laura Mason.
Good evening, Karen.
Nice, queer monkey business, huh? Say, I wonder what happened to that apartment with the burning skull on the fireplace. Oh, that'd make a cozy little place for a vampire. She could invite her friends up and have a few drinks.
Oh, now, Mr. Raymond, I just can't stand the thought of vampires.
Oh, well, tell the truth. I feel the same way, Mary. I always say that I could kill a vampire and it wouldn't bother my conscience at all. After all, I wouldn't be spilling her blood. It'd be somebody else's.
Now, please, there are no such things as vampires. So let's talk about something else. Something sensible.
Heaven forbid.
Well, then you just be quiet, because I'm going to give some sensible advice. I'm going to remind all the folks who drink Lipton tea that it's wise to buy the larger, more economical size packages. Oh, yes, it's thriftier, but that isn't the only reason. I mean, Lipton tea is the perfect drink for so many occasions that unless you keep a good supply on hand, you may be caught short just when you need it, such as when friends pay a surprise visit to your house. So, when you buy Lipton tea, the tea with the brisk flavor, be sure to get it in the larger size packages.
Oh, sure, and there's still a large package of murder ahead tonight, so let's get back to our star, Wendy Berry. Let's see, where were we? Oh, of course, Karen was trying to make up her mind if she was going bats when suddenly the door opened and in walked Laura Mason.
I'm Detective Lou Locke, homicide. Better sit down, Miss Mason.
Thank you. Karen, will you please fix me a drink?
Yes, but you've got to tell him what happened this evening. He doesn't believe me.
Fix her the drink, Karen. I'll do the talking.
All right.
I suppose you've been wondering about me, Mr. Locke?
Yeah. Did you know about his will?
I did. I suppose you've gathered quite a bit of evidence against me.
We've got enough. Did you kill him?
Do you have my drink, Karen?
Yes, here.
Thank you. No, I didn't kill him, Mr. Locke.
We'll let the jury decide that.
Would you care to know who did murder him?
I have a certain curiosity.
She did.
Karen?
Yes.
You don't know what you're saying.
Why don't you tell him, Karen? Why don't you confess?
But I have nothing to confess. I didn't kill my father. Lou, you don't believe her, do you? You know she's lying.
I listen to everybody. That's my business.
Are you going to confess, Karen?
What are you trying to do to me? You know I didn't kill him. You know because you killed him yourself.
Miss Mason, I understand you saw the body of Dennis Marlowe in a vision.
Yes.
The vision came after the murder. After you were known to come to this apartment earlier this evening.
She killed him. That's why she could see these things in her vision.
What have you got to say to that, Miss Mason?
I see I'll have to convince you too, Mr. Locke. You don't believe in these powers of mine?
No.
You will. Let me hold your hand.
She held his hand, just as she held mine. That same strange shudder went through her body. Her eyes again became the round black wells of infinite space.
In a moment, you'll be looking at the body of a woman, Mr. Locke. She's lying on the floor of this apartment. She's dead.
Yeah? Who is she?
I can't see her face yet. Wait. I'm beginning to see it now.
What's the matter?
This drink has been poisoned.
What are you talking about?
Karen poisoned my drink. The body lying on the floor is me. She's murdered.
No, it's a lie. It's some trick.
You won't win, Karen. My body will disappear. It's not like yours, not like any of you. You won't be able to arrest me.
What happened to her? What's the matter?
Just a minute. She's dead.
Dead?
Murdered. She's been poisoned.
Poison?
That's right. Look at her eyes.
But I didn't do it. You saw me pour the drink.
I wasn't watching you.
But you can't
I
believe
didn't
that.
say you killed her.
But that's what you're thinking.
What I'm thinking now isn't worth a button. Give me that shawl on the piano.
Here.
I want to cover her.
You don't really believe
Listen,
that.
you stay here. I'm going into the next room to phone headquarters. I'll be back in a minute.
I looked at the shawl covering the twisted heap on the floor. What kind of a woman was she? Why had she lied? As though hypnotized, I walked over to her, picked up the shawl. She was beautiful, even more beautiful in death than in life. Then out of space, just as I'd felt it before, I felt her eyes on me. They were closed, yet I knew she was watching me, staring at me, looking at every move I made. Suddenly, I heard myself screaming at her, "You can't see me! You're dead! You're dead! You can't see me!" I couldn't bear it another moment. I ran out of the room, terrified and hysterical. "She's watching me, Lou! I can feel her!
Karen!
She's watching me!"
Karen, get a grip on yourself.
Oh, I tell you, I feel her eyes.
Karen!
You must believe me. Please, believe me.
Now, look, you'll be okay. I finished my call. I want you to come back inside.
No, I can't.
You've got to. Look, if you'll only realize that there's nothing to be afraid of, you'll be all right. Come on.
Oh, I'll go. I'll go if you tell me you don't believe what she said.
I don't believe it for a minute. She put that poison in the drink herself. She knew the game was up, but she just wanted to make trouble for you. The whole thing was an act. Here's the...
Lou, look. The shawl's on the floor, but Laura Mason... Laura Mason has disappeared. I was alone. Lou had gone back to headquarters. When he left, I could see she had him under a spell. He, too, was puzzled and confused. Just as before, the door buzzer rang. No one was there. The telephone rang. I picked it up. Hello? No one. I was being beaten. I knew it. You can fight evil when it's human. But What can you do when it's not human? She wanted me to die on the gallows. Somehow I knew I would. She was too powerful for me. How could I stop her? How?
Good evening, Karen.
I looked up, saw her. Another hallucination.
I said good evening, Karen.
What do you want?
I want you to confess to the murder of your father.
That's what you wanted all along, isn't it? That's how you want me to go to the gallows, isn't it?
Yes. Call the police, Karen. Tell them how you murdered him.
No.
Why suffer any longer? You know you'll do it in the end.
No.
I have patience. I'll wait. Just let me take something out of my purse.
A knife?
Yes, Karen. Dennis died by being stabbed in the throat. Perhaps you'd like to know how that feels.
You wouldn't dare.
I'd dare anything, Karen.
Don't you come near me.
You know you've got to die, Karen.
Go away! Go away!
No, Karen.
I have a weapon, too. In this drawer.
Oh, a gun. Do you think that'll have any effect on me? You tried to poison me once. It didn't work.
I'm warning you. Go away. Get out of here.
Don't be a fool, Karen.
No, I'll shoot.
Put that gun down.
No, I'm going to kill you.
You see, Karen? It had no effect. No effect.
Blood. You're bleeding. You are human. You won't disappear again. Not this time. And I won't see you again. Ever. Ever.
Karen.
I killed her. She wanted to murder me. Look, she still has a knife in her hand. I killed her. She confessed that she murdered my father. She wanted to murder me, too, so she could have all the money.
Is that right?
Yes.
Had a chance to do some checking up, Karen. We trailed that woman we found in the apartment you took me to.
Oh, then I wasn't wrong about the apartment.
No. We questioned the old lady, and she confessed. The apartment was a trick one she used to hold seances in. Could be changed, like a stage set. They rigged up wires in this apartment so they could make the buzzer in the phone ring and make you think you were going out of your mind.
They wanted me to confess to murdering my father.
That's right.
It's all over now, Lou.
No, it isn't. She, wanted you to confess because she knew we'd stacked up a lot of evidence against her. But I asked why she should pick on you. The answer was obvious. Because you killed him.
What?
You heard me. You killed him. You waited till she saw your father and left. Then you murdered him, slipped out of the house by the servants' entrance. She came back and saw what you had done.
You don't believe that. You can't.
It's true.
But why should I do it?
Well, the money you'd inherit is a good enough motive. Then there may have been
Oh,
other
it's
ones.
nonsense. I've always had all the money I needed.
But would you get it after your father married Laura Mason? You know, that piece of sculpture interests me. Why should he say you wanted to get this?
Don't you touch it.
Why not?
You'll break it.
No, I won't.
You broke it. You deliberately broke it. Oh, he's dead now, and that's all I have to remind me of what he looked like. I could kill you for this. I could kill you.
Like you killed him because he wanted to marry Laura Mason?
Yes.
That's enough, Karen. That's all I wanted to hear.
Lou, listen to me. I must have been out of my mind when I did it. Father was all I had. I couldn't lose him. But now that he's dead, I don't feel that way anymore.
Is that right, baby?
It happened when you kissed me.
Did it?
You can forget what I told you. Everyone will believe she killed him. I have money, lots of money. I can make you very happy.
Oh, it's gonna break my heart, baby, but you're gonna die. You've told me enough to send you to the gallows. Come on, Karen.
I pleaded temporary insanity. It failed. This is the last night. That noise. The gallows. They're testing it. Laura Mason was a strange woman. All I can think of now is what she told me. It seems so long ago.
There was a figure hanging from the gallows. It was you.
Yes, sir, that kills 2 of the prettiest girls we've ever had in the inner sanctum. Karen should have pleaded guilty to having killed her father and asked for clemency on the grounds that she was an orphan.
What a terrible crime that was.
Yes, man. She seemed like such a polite young girl, the kind of girl who goes to finishing school and learns how to pour tea.
Now, see here, Mr. Raymond, you don't have to go to school to learn how to pour tea.
No?
And as far as enjoying tea is concerned, you only have to know one word.
Yeah?
Lipton. Yes, Lipton tea has a special, full-bodied taste. It always tastes fresh and tangy and bracing, never flat or insipid. Tea experts sum it all up by saying that Lipton tea has a brisk flavor. So, folks, try Lipton's and see what a big difference that brisk flavor makes.
A word of advice, naturally. If you wake up in the morning and feel like stretching, and go hang yourself, bud. By the way, this month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is The Lucky Stiff by Craig Rice. Oh, yes, and next week's Inner Sanctum mystery story directed by Hyman Brown and brought to you by Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup. Next week's story will be about a pair of young lovers who don't think 2 can live as cheaply as 1. So they murder a rich old man. Oh, isn't that ducky? I wouldn't be surprised if she sits on his lap in the electric chair. Oh, well, now it's really time to close that there squeaking door until next Tuesday. So until then, good night. Pleasant dreams. Unfortunate.
Folks, these busy days, we all want to save time when we prepare meals, and yet we don't want to sacrifice that good homemade taste. Well, that's just the time to serve Lipton's noodle soup. Lipton's is quick and easy to prepare because it comes in an envelope. You just empty the contents into boiling water, and in no time at all, soup's on. And Lipton's has a real homemade chicken-y flavor. It tastes just like the chicken noodle soup you'd make right in your own kitchen. It's economical, too. Lipton's costs less and makes more than canned soups. So don't forget Lipton's noodle soup. And don't forget to tune in next Tuesday night for another Inner Sanctum Mystery.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Good evening, friends. This is your host of the Inner Sanctum, welcoming you to another half hour of gore galore. Come in, won't you, and sit down. No, not there. You'll sit on Ezekiel. He wouldn't like that. Besides, you'd probably find him pretty cold. We've been keeping him on ice for about 6 months now. What? That noise? Oh, that's just his teeth chattering. No, not because he's cold, but because he just finished going over tonight's story and, well, I guess you could call him a scared stiff.
Goodness, is the story really going to be so scary? You mean that lots of people are going to be murdered?
Yes, Mary, but don't worry. We're only killing people who've never been killed before.
Well, I guess then that all the characters in the story will need plenty of ho suet.
Oh, Seward, what's that? Chinese for Lipton tea?
Well, you're half right. It's Chinese. Ho suet means good luck. And that's what it says in Chinese characters on the sterling silver medallion that the Lipton people are offering to the ladies. Yes, ladies, the medallion is a Chinese good luck charm. But more than that, it's a really lovely piece of jewelry. It's made of solid sterling silver, and it's hung on a narrow black rayon satin ribbon. That's the fashion this year, you know. Yes, this handsome medallion is the kind of jewelry you find at those smart shops on Fifth Avenue in New York. And to get it, all you have to do is to send 25 cents and the box top from a package of Lipton's, the tea with the brisk flavor, to Lipton Tea, Box 92. That's Box 92, New York City.
All right, friends. Now get ready for a surprise. Tonight's story is called Death Across the Board. It's an original radio play by Robert Newman. And our star is that famous dramatic actor of stage and screen, Raymond Massey, who will play the role of John Strand. Do you like to play games? Your life, and even your soul on one throw of the dice or the turn of a card. Oh, you don't care for such high stakes, eh? Well, did it ever occur to you, by living, you're playing such a game, and that your opponent was death? Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story about a man who sat in death's place, playing with human lives, and of what happened to him. It is about 10 o'clock on a sultry summer evening, and Dr. John Strand is standing in front of the window of a pawn shop in the oldest part of the city. On a sudden impulse, he pushes open the door.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, thank you. If you don't mind, I'd just like to look around.
By all means. I just thought if there was something in particular.
Oh, I really didn't have anything special in mind. I just thought... Hello.
Ah, my chess set.
Yes, a very interesting set. And a very interesting game you're playing.
My dear sir, you have no idea how interesting.
Whose move?
White?
Then White should win in 6 moves.
That, sir, is very much open to question.
Well, perhaps we can play sometime. And how much for this set?
It's not for sale.
Oh, too bad.
Yes. However, if you're interested in chess and chessmen, I know of a set that I think might appeal to you. It's an Arabian set, 12th or 13th century ivory. The white pieces are Saracen warriors, and the black pieces are crusaders.
Do you have it here?
Unfortunately, no. It's not very far away. If you thought you'd like to see it.
Well, if it's not too outrageously expensive, then you're sure it's no bother?
My dear sir, don't give it another thought. I'll be most anxious for your reactions, even if you don't buy. The address is 23 Vallon Place. It's down 2 blocks, and 1 to your right. Go up 1 flight and ask for Felix. Tell him that Raphael sent you.
23 Vallon Place. Up 1 flight. Ask for Felix.
I'll phone him and tell him to expect you. Your name is?
Strand. Dr. John Strand.
Very good, Dr. Strand. Somehow I have the feeling we shall see each other again. Perhaps we should even have the chance to play that game you mentioned before.
Who's that? Who's there?
Felix?
I said, who's there?
My name's Strand. Raphael sent me over here. He said he'd phone you and...
Just a second.
How do you do? I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Okay, come on in. And stick 'em up.
What? I'm afraid there must be some mistake.
Sure is, Bob, and you made it, thinking you could come here and take me this way.
What? This is
I
ridiculous.
said stick 'em up. Keep 'em up, or I'll let you have it right now.
What for?
Because I said so, that's what's for. Let go of me. Let go. Drop that gun. Oh, drop it, do you hear it? Where is it? Where's... Sure let you have it right away. Oh.
Okay. Now get up and tell me what this is all about. I said get up and... Felix. Dead. He's dead. Hello?
Felix?
I'm sorry, but he can't come to the phone right now.
Oh, Strand. Congratulations.
What? Who is this?
This is Raphael. Now, do you think it's possible for White to win in 5 moves?
What do you mean?
You killed him, didn't you? Of course you did. Or you wouldn't be speaking to me now. suggest that you go through Felix's pockets, take out the most interesting thing you find there, and bring it to my shop.
What? Hello! Hello! Rayfield! Go through his pockets. I've got to get to the bottom of this, find out what it's all about. A wallet, keys, and a chessman. A black rook. All right, Mr. Rayfield. I think perhaps I'll take you up on that. I will go back to your shop.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Yes. Where's Rayfield?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not in right now, but are you Dr. Strand?
I am.
I'm Alice Hines. He must have been expecting you. He asked me to give you this.
What is it?
I don't know, but
Another chessman. A white knight.
Oh, yes. Mr. Rayfield's quite a chess player.
He's more than that. He's a murderer.
What? What do you mean?
He sent me to see someone, a man named Felix, to look at a chess set. When I got there, he pulled a gun on me and... Well, when I tried to get it away from him, it went off and killed him.
Oh, no.
Don't look so surprised and innocent. You work for him. You must know what it's all about.
There must be some mistake, some horrible mistake.
A mistake, eh? Then why did he phone Felix's while I was there? How did he know he'd been killed? Why did he laugh about it? Tell me to come here.
Well, I don't know, but I can't believe that about him. I won't.
No? Well, we'll see what the police have to say about it. Where's the phone?
Back there. But if you're serious about it, you don't have to bother calling them. Riley just went past here a few minutes ago. There he is, up at the corner.
Fine. That'll save some time. Officer! Oh, officer, would you... Good Lord. Someone shot him.
That woman hiding behind that car there. The woman in black. She's coming in here. Don't just stand there. Get inside and shut the door. You shot Riley. You killed him. 6 months I've been trying to find out who got Ben. Now he can rest in peace. Where's Rayfield? Rayfield? He's the one that got the dope for me. Told me how to knock the cop off. Told me to come in here afterwards.
Well, Miss Hines?
Why are you looking so funny? Say, whose side are you on, anyway?
Not ours, my dear. Not ours.
Well, that's it. I just took it for granted you were working for Ray. Okay, get him up and keep him up. What'll I do with him, Rayfield? Where are you, anyway?
Oh, I'm around here someplace. As to what to do with them, I leave that to your discretion. After all, they are witnesses.
Yeah, that's right.
May I recommend the cellar? Right through that door there. It's secluded and quiet.
Okay. Get moving.
I repeat, Miss Hines. Well?
It's fantastic. What are you going to do to us? You can't be that dumb, baby face. 6 months I've been wearing black for the only guy I ever loved. I finally get the guy that got him. You think I'm going to leave the two of you around to put the finger on me? I mean, you're going to kill us? You cannot. No. Seems to me I did a pretty neat job on that flatfoot. After all, they can't burn you more than once. Okay, open that door and go on down.
Allow me, madam.
Never mind, wise guy. You go down first. Then Babyface.
It's not very good manners.
No, I'm not going to let you do it. Give me that. No, no, you fool. Let it go.
Down after. Hurry. Watch while I get the gun.
I didn't mean to do it. I was just trying to get the gun, but she tripped. She fell. It's Strand. Why is she lying there so funny? Her head.
Let's see. Her neck's broken. She's dead.
Oh, no. That means I killed her.
Not any more than it means I killed Felix.
Look. There, lying next to her. Isn't that another chess piece?
The Black Queen.
Why, he gave me one just like that when I first came to work for him. Only it was a white one.
What? Black Queen, White Knight, and... No. It's impossible. And still...
You've thought of something.
It's too incredible. But I've had a certain nightmare vision that... Come on. We're going to the police. Maybe it's our move now.
Well, live and learn. I always had an idea that I wouldn't like chess, that it was a pretty slow game. But here we've only been playing for about 15 minutes, and we've chalked up 3 corpses already. Yes, this kind of chess is just like a divorce.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, it's a good way to get rid of your wife. That is, if she's a stale maid.
Well, I assure you, most men don't want to get rid of their wives.
Is that so? Didn't you tell me that a man had written in to ask for that Lipton sterling silver medallion on the black ribbon?
Yes.
And didn't he say he wanted to put it around his wife's neck as a choker?
Oh, dear, you don't understand. A choker is just one of the ways in which you can wear this medallion. Of course, you can also wear it as a necklace or... Well, here's what one of our listeners says she does.
I put the medallion on my charm bracelet. I just took it off the narrow black rayon satin ribbon on which it's hung and then slipped it on my bracelet. The medallion was just the right size.
Yes, ladies, and no matter how you wear it, the medallion is really a smart piece of jewelry. It's made of solid sterling silver, and it's about 1 inch in diameter. So send for your medallion tonight. The Lipton people are making it easy for you to own one. Just send 25 cents and the box top from a package of Liptons, the tea with the brisk flavor, to Lipton Tea, Box 92. That's Box 92, New York City.
Yeah, it's better right now, friends, while your hands are still steady enough to address the envelope. Well, let's go back to our game of chess. And our star, Raymond Massey, who's playing the role of John Strand. It's about a half hour later now. Dr. Strand and Alice Hines are sitting in a bare, quiet room, the chief's office at police headquarters. For the past 10 minutes, Strand has been talking steadily, describing everything that has happened.
So you each bumped someone off, eh? And you come to give yourselves up.
We certainly did not come here to give ourselves up, Chief. I told you that in both cases it was self-defense. We're here because there's a madman loose, a homicidal maniac. It just came to me a little while ago. There was something strangely familiar about this Raphael, and... Did you ever hear of Raphael Norbert?
No.
He was one of the greatest chess players the world has ever known. About 5 years ago, he disappeared. Well, he's playing another chess game now. The maddest game that ever was. Is there a map of the city around?
Right there on the wall.
Let's see. Now, here's Raphael's shop, and... Yes, this would be it. This section of the city here is 8 blocks each way. This is his chessboard. And human beings, people like Alice and I, are his chessmen.
What?
John.
I know it sounds fantastic, but I think it's true. When he sent me to Felix's, he told me to go down 2 blocks and 1 to the right. That's the move of the night. In other words, he had cast me as one of the white knights in his crazy game. Alice was the white queen. He himself was the black king, and so on.
He just lined up all these people. Said, you play this piece, you play that,
no.
And...
That was the beauty of the game. The fascinating, exciting part to him. No one knew that they were playing in it, but he. For instance, Felix didn't know that he was a black rook any more than I knew I was a white knight. But his black pieces were all criminals of some sort who wouldn't hesitate to kill. And it was by killing that one piece took another. You see, that was the ultimate refinement. The thing that made this the greatest game Norbert has ever played. He could plan a move, but he had no way of telling which piece would take which. For instance, I killed Felix instead of his killing me. In other words, he was not only playing his game against law and order, against society, but he was matching his brains against that of every piece in the game.
Against law and order, eh? I got this in the mail a couple of weeks ago, without any letter or anything. How would it fit in with your theory?
The White King. Of course. He's cast you in the role of the White King. In other words, he's playing this game principally against you.
Now do you believe us, Mr. Adams? Do you?
I don't know. It's possible, I suppose. We've been having a funny kind of crime wave lately, killings without any apparent... Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, Chief. Valenti speaking. I'm down at the corner of 3rd and Sycamore, and there's something kind of screwy going on.
Hello? Hello? Valenti?
What's the matter?
One of our detectives calling from 3rd and Sycamore. Said there was something screwy on, and then, well, sounded like somebody got him. I'll make sure about this before you answer, but would this be part of what you were talking about?
Let's look at the map again. 3rd and Sycamore. That would be in the area that's Raphael's chessboard. Yes, I think it is.
Okay, come on. We're going down there.
There he is, lying next to the call box.
Dead. Stabbed.
Look there, lying next to him. Another chess piece.
A pawn. A white pawn. Of course. If you're the White King, then all your men would be pawns.
Pawns, huh? They're the pieces that get pushed around, aren't they?
Well, they're the ones that are usually sacrificed.
2 of my men, Riley and Valenti. Okay, Strand, you're a chess player. You think you can figure out what this Raphael character's going to do next? Tell me how I can meet him?
I might. I only got a very quick look at the board. But if I can remember the location of the pieces...
You mean he's actually got a board set up showing where all the pieces, everybody is?
There's one set up on a little table right next to his desk. No one's allowed to touch it.
That's the one. And it was because I noticed it, commented on it, that I got involved in this nightmare. I think I do remember the position of all the pieces that were left. But of course, some moves may have been made since I saw it last.
Well, what are we fooling around for? Let's go to that shop and make sure. All dark. Doesn't look as if anyone's in the store.
Locked, all right. You got a key, haven't you, Alice?
No, Raphael never gave me one. He always locked up himself.
Well, what do we do?
2 of my men killed and you ask me something like that. Look out. Okay, where's the light?
Right here. There's the chessboard over there.
I know. Let's take a look at it.
This all there is to the place?
Except for the cellar. Oh, she must still be down there. That woman in
We'll
black...
go down there later. Well, Strand?
Well, at the moment, black seems to have the edge on us. Several moves have been made, and we've lost several pieces. But we still got a
The
fair
devil's
chance...
winning that game. Where's this Raphael guy, the Black King? What's he going to do next?
Just give me another minute or two, will you? The Black King is still in his own square, which would seem to mean that Raphael was still here someplace. The thing is, I'm not sure whose move it is now.
You're right, Strand. I am still here. And it's my move.
What in thunder?
It's him speaking over some kind of loudspeaker system, maybe from the cellar.
From the cellar, huh? Well, I'm going to...
Alice, where are you?
Over here.
Are you all right?
I think so. What was it? What happened?
He must have had the place mined or set a booby trap, and when Adams went to open the cellar door, he... Where is Adams?
What? I'm not sure, but I think he's over there.
I must have some matches someplace. Here. Under that beam. There. Help me lift it off. Adams! Adams!
Is he...
No, but he's pretty badly hurt. Just let me get a few tourniquets tied on him, and we better get him to a hospital. This way. The emergency ward's right in there.
How do you know?
Well, I ought to. I interned here. Funny. There's no one around. Well, let's put him right there, on the table. Gently. That's it. Hello? This is Dr. Strand speaking from the emergency ward. I've got a very severe accident case here. Is there anyone around who can take care of him? What about surgery? Crandall? Oh, fine. Will you ask him to get down here as soon as possible? Thanks. The chap I used to know is just finishing an operation. He'll be down in a few minutes.
Will there still be time?
Yes, I think so. We'll have to give him a transfusion once we get him patched up. I'll start scrubbing up myself in case Crandall needs a hand.
Isn't there anything I can do?
Just keep your eye on him. The tourniquets particularly. It'd be too bad if he lost any more blood.
Right. He's still unconscious, but not...
Oh, hello, Crandall. That was quick. Awfully glad you were here. It's a pretty serious case. Adams, the chief of police. An explosion.
Oh?
If we don't work fast, we may lose him. Shock. Possible concussion. Right axillary artery severed. I got a tourniquet on. I'll be finished scrubbing up in a minute. Give you a hand.
Take your time. No hurry. I'll just...
What are you doing?
Removing the tourniquet.
Wait, I'm not ready with the ligatures yet. Oh. You're not Crandall. You're Raphael.
Right, Strand. Raphael Norbert. Dr. Crandall is still in surgery. Locked in, as a matter of fact. I put on this mask and gown not because I thought it would fool you. Because, well, somehow it just seemed appropriate.
But it can't be you. You were in the shop.
No, Strand. You're thinking of my voice. It was coming over a loudspeaker system from next door. If you're thinking of my position on the board, you forget. I hadn't made my move yet.
Raphael, I don't know why you've done all this, and I don't care why. But you've got to let us do something about Chief Adams. All that blood he's
Yes,
losing.
Raphael, for heaven's sake.
Don't move, either of you. When I have to shoot, I sincerely hope it won't be necessary. After all, when the chief of police dies, the game will be over. And a most interesting game it's been.
But haven't there been enough deaths?
You're very sentimental, my dear. I'm afraid you never would make a good chess player. Pieces have been taken, that's all.
Raphael, suppose we just give up. Say you've won.
That's right, Raphael. We'll cede you the game, but let me do something about Adams. There's still time. I've got everything ready here. All the instruments.
No, Strand. This is one game I won't have ceded. But I insist on having played out to the last move.
If that's the way you want it, all right. If I'm not mistaken, it's my move now.
My eyes! My eyes! I can't see.
The formaldehyde won't help them any. Here's his gun, Alice. Watch him while I get these tourniquets back on Adams.
Do you think you can still see?
Yes. His pulse is weak, but I think we can still save him.
My eyes.
As for you, Raphael, you made one bad mistake. You forgot that 3 of us came to your shop. The White King, White Queen, and White Knight. That would put you in check.
Well, Strand, I felicitate and congratulate you. If I'm to lose, I prefer to lose in my own way.
Watch him!
Oh, he went through the window.
There's a railroad underpass right outside. A drop of about 60 feet. I think that's game, match, and tournament.
What? You mean the game's over already? Well, that's impossible. We've still got some characters left, at least 3 of them that haven't been killed off. We've been robbed, and I think we ought to call for a return match. Let's take a vote on it there. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3. That's funny. It came out just the way it did for our friend Raphael. The eyes got it.
Heavens, let's not have another game of chess.
Yes, Mary. Now do you see why they call the pieces chess men instead of women? Oh, this game's too rough for women.
It certainly is rough.
Oh, do you feel worn out and tired? Why don't you rest a while? Then you can slip into something comfortable, like a winding sheet. And if you want to be really fancy, you can put on your sterling silver medallion. What? You have no medallion? Well, here's how you get one. Just send...
Never mind. I'll tell them, thank you.
Ladies, if you want to own a handsome sterling silver medallion, just send 25 cents and the box top from a package of Lipton, the tea with the brisk flavor, to Lipton Tea, Box 92, New York City.
Before I say goodnight, a word of advice. If you should ever get into a chess game with a stranger and you happen to notice that he's got a meat axe on his lap, don't get up and run. Just make sure that there's someone else around to help pick up the pieces. Oh, by the way, this month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is Lay That Pistol Down by Richard Powell. And oh yes, let me tell you about next week's Inner Sanctum story. Directed by Hyman Brown and brought to you by Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup. Next week's story is about a picture that kills everyone who owns it. It's a masterpiece of murder. Yes, just as soon as a man hangs up his picture, vice versa happens. The picture hangs him. And now it's time to close the squeaking door until next Tuesday. So, good night. Pleasant dreams.
Folks, the next time you send a box of food to your boy overseas, be sure to include a package or two of Lipton's Noodle Soup Mix. You see, Lipton's is just like a taste of home. Yes, it has the same homemade chickeny taste as the soup you make yourself, the soup your boy's always been so fond of. That's why it's such a thoughtful, welcome little gift to send Lipton. And as you know yourself, Lipton's Noodle Soup makes a grand snack. So remember, send a package or two to your boy. And remember to tune in next Tuesday night for another Inner Sanctum mystery.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.